Thanks, Interash, and thanks to Jared and everyone who's here. You know, this is a great group of people with a lot of expertise. This is coming into my 6th year chairing Senate Natural Resources and Energy, and one of the things that is always a challenge for me is working with my colleagues, working with all of you, and working with the general public to help get people engaged and taking action at the pace that we need to take action. And so one of the frames of reference I've started to use again is I have worked in the past as an EMT, and that's an area where you get a lot of training to be ready to respond to emergencies. If I take that EMT model and carry it over to what's going on in the environment, it's clear that at the station there are a lot of alarms ringing between flooding and fires and droughts and deaths and hurricanes and decimation. So the alarm is going off. There is an environmental emergency. And when you're an EMT, you go out and you just respond, and you are highly trained, and you take appropriate and necessary action. I would not ever want to be a patient on the ground at an accident and have someone show up and tell me they're going to do something bold and aggressive to me. I would like to know that they're highly trained and ready to help. And when I look around this room, I feel like this is a room of EMTs for the world of environment and energy. There's a tremendous amount of expertise in this room already. We know, and what we need, I think, to do is to step up and say, we will take appropriate and necessary action, and we'll pick up the pace. We have a chance to do that this coming session. There was a request to sign up on one of these sheets if you're committed to doing something. So I wanted to preview just very briefly what I'm calling at this point the beneficial electrification bill. It says quite simply that if you can take our highly experienced and expert energy efficiency programs and then redefine what you mean by efficiency, to say, instead of just looking for electrical savings, but you're looking for greenhouse gas reductions. And why that? Because with the many things we can get caught up in measuring, the simple physics is that greenhouse gas is driving climate change, is driving the entire crisis. So let's narrow our focus to targeting greenhouse gas reductions, and then let's take the expertise we already have and apply it across the board now in thermal and in transportation. We opened the door in Act 62 on that work this past spring. There's a proceeding underway that's going to inform us further in January on how to make an orderly transition to more work. But I think you saw in Rebecca's numbers that the first scenario they ran delivered for the same dollars spent 3 times the level of greenhouse gas reduction. So that's what I mean about the expertise, that we are like the EMTs of this moment. We can take appropriate and necessary action. We'll be doing that, be proposing this in the legislature this coming session. This is an early stage in bill development. I would encourage all of you to participate in Act 62 proceeding that Tom was talking about, because that's creating the regulatory framework that underlies this transition and transformation. And I would encourage you to reach out to legislators and bend my ear, because we're shaping the bill. It's already being drafted right now. We're trying to hit the ground running so that on day 1 of the session, we have a strong bill to help build that energy transformation. Beneficial electrification is, I think, one of the things that we know we can do for ourselves. Delivering environmental benefits, delivering economic benefits to all Vermonters. The alarms are going off. It's time to respond. Thank you.